broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
All right, Rotor 13, Joseph Boza, Wesley Okunganga, Les Salvador. Those are just a few names because that is our chat roll, and those are our super fans, and we are the American Idol After Show here on AfterBuzz TV, Season 14, Episode 24. I'm your host tonight, JC Rubio, and across the table, yes, it's stripped down tonight. It's the lovely, absolutely stunning, gorgeous Miss Stephanie Giorgi. Where can they find you, Steph?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi, on Instagram at the Stephanie Giorgi, and on Snapchat at Stephanie Giorgi.
And of course, a big shout out to Mr. Jason Eichler and Violet Kanyan, who couldn't make it tonight. I guess Jason's still stuck on the press line, and Violet, we miss you. We need you.
She's a busy girl.
Yes, and of course, running the ones and twos, Epic Mark time. What's up, man?
Cheers, y'all.
All right. And we have got a lot to talk about tonight. It was an emotional week.
It was. And you know what? Honestly, it might not even be that entertaining, considering I feel like I don't have any really negative comments, but I definitely have a lot to say about tonight's show.
Ooh, really? So maybe we can like switch roles, because usually I'm Switzerland. I'm like, oh, he was good. He was, very nice. No, okay. All right. So let's get into it. And of course, our fans, let us know what you think. Let's see. Here are some. Oh, wow. People are like, where is sexy Violet? Well, we've got double sexy Steph and JC here. Hello. Okay, maybe half of it's right. All right. So, but overall, you feeling it? You feel very positive, sounds like here.
I do, absolutely positive. And like the one thing about American Idol is that it always cracks me up that towards the end of the season and when we get to our top 7, our top 8, how connected I get and a little bit emotionally invested into some of these contestants. And I know I get that I might have been completely different last week, but that's how quick it changes. Within the week, within a performance, my mind can be completely changed. And I appreciate that because it's nice.
So you're like J-Lo tonight.
Am I?
You're the positive peach. So I'm gonna be Harry. I'm gonna be like the grizzly kind
Harry
of.
was like in a really bad mood this evening.
Well, before we start throwing barbs, I also have to say a quick reminder: if you have not subscribed to us, please go to youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV. There you'll find our library of over 400 of your favorite shows, and if you want to hear the audio version, go to iTunes or SoundCloud. So. We have you guys live, and also go to Twitter and go to #ABTVIdol. Let us know what you think. So let's start off with the very first, Jax with Poker Face. Gaga, you like the song choice?
I liked the song choice. I felt bad that they said they didn't like the arrangement. I think the only part that I didn't like about the arrangement is the way that she was pronouncing Poker Face, because she was saying, I guess that's the way that Gaga does it as well. But that was kind of weird. However, in my notes, I wrote, okay, theatrical, I see you, because I felt like Jax came out of her shell a little bit more. I understand what the judges said by maybe them wanting her to move a lot, but at the same time they're comparing her to Lady Gaga, who does the most exaggerated shows ever. So I don't know. You can look at it both ways.
This is what I love, because usually
she sounded both great.
We're always talking during the show, and you kind of know where we're going to lean with our opinions. And today, you and I were very stoic. Maybe it's because I'm coming down with Violet's, like, whatever she has now. It's going around AfterBuzz. But I want to say I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
But I do not.
Oh.
Absolutely.
What was the point of saying that then? I'm just kidding.
No, absolutely. Tonight, okay, I've always been pro Jax, but tonight I said she jaxed it. She made it her own, but I was missing the dynamics from the Gaga song, that power, that intensity. And for me, she slightly took a step back. And there's only 3 girls left here, so you start zeroing in, and Jax owns that space. But tonight, to me, it seemed like, I don't know if it was that she was lost, or it didn't go anywhere for me, the song. And I needed to see that.
I agree with you on that. I see where she wanted it to go, and I also will say, out of the 3 females in this performance or in the show tonight, she was the least impressionable for me, and that's unfortunate, but that says nothing about who she is and how she is as an artist, because clearly, like, you know, J-Lo and everyone likes to say she's one of our favorites from the beginning. So
here, I want to see what the panel says. We have this young gentleman by the name of Jesse F. Daniels who says Jax is the best talent they have on the show. She should win.
Great, and we can all agree with that. However, like everyone says, it all depends on the performance on tonight. On what's today's date? April 8th? April 8th? Okay, so what can you do for us on April 8th? It has nothing to do with what happened last week and everything else.
So you're going with the theory that we've talked about all season, that one bad night could do you in?
Absolutely.
Okay, because she also went first.
Right, the curse of the first.
Right, which hasn't happened really this season, but...
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, my opinion was still that she did pretty great. I thought that I saw a little bit of theatrics in it, and I think I liked that because she's more, you know, sultry usually, and she gets into it in a different way. So to hear her get a little bit loud was flattering, I think.
All right. So you're kind of in the middle of this, and I'm
in the middle. Maybe that's probably the only person, but again, like I said, it says nothing about her because we love her so much every week.
Really? So you're just in the middle with her because the next person.
No, the next person, that was funny. I'm actually really proud of Nick. That was great. And I
Nick Fradiani, you're proud of Nick Fradiani. What made you proud about Nick?
Well, for one, Harry, relax, because I think that what Harry was thinking about was Katy Perry, blue hair, Candyland, and then Nick singing it, when that wasn't the case at all, because I think it's hilarious. Just this Monday, I was with a group of, you know, some creative people, and they started doing a little bit of a jam sesh, and the first song that they sang, mind you, it was like 3 men and like a girl, was Teenage Dream, because they loved the beat, and the way that they were able to harmonize and get into it, I didn't find it surprising one bit that Nick chose to sing that song, and I think it was perfect for him. It was a great song choice, because the beat was cool and he was able to get into it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, disagree with me.
No, why do you think I'm going to disagree? I may actually agree with you.
You're laughing because you're like, damn it, I'm not.
No, I might actually agree with you, but this is not it. I'm going to say no. Okay. What I love about Nick now. Every week I do see him more and more confident. I do. He owned it tonight. He really, really did. I just. You said that you had a great observation when he finished his song. The way the crowd reacted, you said it must have sounded great live. And I took note of that because, to me, I love the confidence, but it seemed there were some notes that were off for me. I know I'm getting picky, but when you have people like Clark, Rayvon, that are just hitting it, I want to see that. You know what, with Nick, and it's not that I'm anti-Nick, because I get that from fans. They're all, you always say Nick, not that at all. I want to hear his own material. I think that would be stellar. His own stuff, he will rock it out. He has that Daughtry-esque-ness about him. But right now, good looking guy.
No, I agree, because I think that's the one thing that gets frustrating, because if you focus on his vocals and his performance abilities, maybe he could have served having left prior to this top 7, top 8, or, you know, however you want to look at it. So that's understandable, but still, I think that this was one of his better performances. I did hear some of those pitch issues. I did hear him be off a little bit on some notes, but it still suited him better.
All right. But then you're starting to move into X Factor territory, where it's all about performance, and Idol is about finding that singer, that artist.
Right. Like I said, he still has vocal issues. I liked the performance though tonight.
Okay.
So it's up to everyone to kind of choose on which one that they like. Did you like his vocals or did you like his performance?
I will say J-Lo really liked it. She was crushing on him, it seemed like. I was like, look.
Well, as I'm saying, the crowd reaction to that performance was quite, it was large.
Okay.
And Jason's told us before that sometimes some of the performances sound completely different live than when it does when we watch the show. So I always have to kind of take that into consideration, and I pay attention to what he can do to those who are in front of him while they're listening to him, because that's who counts. I mean, the judges definitely count, but, we're catering to an audience.
Okay, all right, so we agreed. Kind of. See, right now, to me, this episode was in the middle for me. There was 1 or 2 great performances, and I hate that. I want to find. Okay, there's someone that's coming up a little bit later that I was surprised. That really surprised me, and I was so happy for that, because will there be complacency if we still keep hearing the same people that are just knocking it out of the park? Will we lose viewers? Will we lose interest? Because there's someone that has been very consistent, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's move on to Quentin Alexander singing Latch, which we opened the show with. Did you like a more upbeat, a lighter toned Quentin Alexander this week?
I liked it. I think that the arrangement was right for him. I also feel that it was safe, and I think that's what the judges were saying, that something was missing from it. But Quentin's lucky because the way he delivers some of his music. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to connect, right? So it was cool, but I do think it was safe.
How can it be safe though?
I know, because it was out of his, like, he was more upbeat and he went higher.
Right.
I'm not sure, because there were certain parts where I felt like he could have gone more into it, but he didn't, which is good, because it's one of those things that Harry always says, that if you're going to do a run, if you're going to do this, commit to it and do it right. So because he didn't feel comfortable committing to certain high notes or maybe hitting that falsetto, he left it right where it was, which made it a good performance, but at the same time kept it safe for his range. Just because we haven't heard him sing that way doesn't mean he wasn't always able to sing that way.
Should we also say then kudos to the mentors who we had this week? We had Jason Derulo and Fleur Georgia Line.
I did not expect for nothing that Jason was going to give any good advice. I don't know why. I apologize, but I was really surprised by it. I was impressed.
I love that he pulled out Quentin's falsetto. Absolutely,
because I never heard that side of Quentin. It's almost to the point where I don't think I even had to hear it in his performance, because I heard it during the rehearsal. So I was like, oh, I know that it exists.
Okay,
that's great.
And of course, I'm playing to all our demographics. Violet is not here, and I know the two of you have some favorites. Clark and Nick for a certain reason, but you seem to be a big fan of the Florida Georgia line as well. And I wanted to ask you, okay, so we're gonna pitch Florida Georgia line guys versus Clark and Nick. Who do you pick?
Florida Georgia. Hello, I just met my future fiance tonight. What was his name? Tyler. The one with the short hair?
I'm on meds. I'm on cold meds right now. I don't even know. I just knew that you were swooning and you lost your objectivity.
I did.
I need you to focus. You're a professional, Stephanie Giorgi.
Hey, you brought it up.
Okay, so let us move on to Joey Cook. Well, don't hide it.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. This is the part that I was so excited about. I tried tweeting to her during the show, but I could not get any reception where we were at watching the show. One, good choice. And yes, I am so happy. What have I said, y'all? Every week, what have I said? That she caters to her voice, and she said so herself. She almost made me feel bad for a second, because I was like, has she been hearing my critiques? Yeah. And I think that, I don't know why I didn't think of Miley Cyrus. You guys probably also know I don't like Miley Cyrus, but guess what? She made me a lover out of Miley Cyrus tonight, because that performance, regardless of what J-Lo, Harry, and Keith had to say, I don't care. That was fantastic. She did such a good job. I felt her, and she was getting emotional during that performance. How dare them not credit that part of it? Because we've never seen her get like that, and she held it in. She looked fantastic during it. She sang good. It was. I guess it was catering to her voice, but not necessarily, because she went and hit those high notes. And I think that she gave it the best that she could have, and I think she killed that performance, because she said her goal was to not change something, and that's what she did. Why wouldn't anyone take it like, hello, that's what we wanted to see. Don't push it.
Total agreement. Not from me, from the chat roll.
Oh,
actually.
Good.
No, I'm just saying, Scotty B is even saying, yay, Stephanie, I am glad you were on board with her.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I needed that. That's what I'm saying. I think I got a little emotional no, that was so cute. She's so cute. You see how things switch up? I feel like I did get a little bit sentimental watching that performance, because I was proud of her and her crabby hands.
She didn't use them.
I know, but
no crab hands.
Right.
Bravo.
But it was a beautiful performance. I thought she did so good. I really was. I hope she watches it, because I really want to say I can give two shits about what the judges said about that performance, because it was great.
There's a hit on you now just for saying that. Those are very powerful people with what you just said.
Go ahead.
No. Here's the thing. I've been a fan of hers. I think she's very current. And I never thought I would say that. I always thought she was so quirky, but the more and more I hear, I was like, I could see her fitting in very well today. However, tonight's just the song itself, she had me started fantastic until she got to the hook. I don't know, she lost me there. I'm Harry tonight.
She was off by a note, because she should have gone.
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Bravo on her not changing the arrangement, not going back to her old tactics. That's great. We see a new layer. And to me, I think, okay, I'm not going to make it a secret. I totally think it's Clark's to lose. I think it's his to lose, but I think Idol itself, remember, this is not just a singing competition, it's a singing show.
Right.
And how they do the packages and whatnot, and just certain things that they do. I think they want to make it, they would love to make it a Joey versus Clark. And, throwing Jackson. The reason being is because Scott Borchetta had said himself, this year's winner is going to have some edge to them. And Clark, I hate to say, Clark it's not that he doesn't have edge, but it's just, he's squeaky clean. Maybe if they were, J-Lo talked about his style, but what I'm saying is they would love to have Joey. And I think Joey, I feel a little Sia in there, younger, and but to me, it's like I almost think that they're really pushing her.
Because of her performance tonight, yes, now I can hear her on the radio. I can. Okay, Harry will sometimes say that it's better to be sharp than to be off. You'd rather be sharp than anything else while you're singing something, and if you might be off in key. I didn't notice it. Maybe I was taken back by the fact that she was singing something, that she didn't change an arrangement, that she was singing something very true to its song. I think she has a very comparable, voice to Miley Cyrus. I think she sounds a little bit better. I think it's great. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm really proud of that. And there was something about her. She was so graceful today during that performance. And it literally blows my mind that more people didn't feel that way, or that they didn't mention that. I felt like they gave her negative critiques, and they should have given her something positive. They should have said something about it, because they didn't give it justice, and they should have.
Here's the thing, and
I really feel like I know that I'm not wrong about it.
Would you call this a memorable performance?
Yes, absolutely. Because it was, like I said, it was the first one that was just real. It was such a real performance, and she really was emotional at the end. I think that's what really got to me, because I haven't seen her be emotional in her other performances.
Okay.
And it hurt her. I felt like it hurt her to stay in that arrangement and to not be herself, and I think that's what was so beautiful about it, because she was just trying to deliver what people wanted.
Okay. Now, here's the thing, and the reason I asked if it was memorable, Superfan, I believe it was Scotty B that asked it last week, and we didn't get to touch upon it last week. And is it more important?
You're right. We talked about this.
Yes. Is it more important to have what's worse, having a bad performance or a forgettable one?
Yeah, I guess.
Let you stew on that. Let the fans stew on that. That was a great question. I just wanted to throw it out there. We'll come back to it a little bit later, because I think it implies to someone that we're going to talk about in a second. But so let's move on to... And people are saying that I have my favorites. I do not. I promise. I am as Switzerland as can be. I promise. I try to see it as even as possible. But tonality, stage presence, well, okay. But to me, it's ultimately the voice. Mm-hmm. And to me, Clark, it's just been consistent every week. Ryan even brought it up. It was funny when Ryan brought up about Clark being, if it was about, I believe I wrote it down, about being consistent. And they took a shot to all the other contestants waiting to be called upon to the stage. Mm-hmm. And they all kind of, we know he's really good. It seemed like to me that was the vibe I got. If you play it back, you'll see that. Mm-hmm. When you ask that question, they go to all the contestants and they're like, Clark's really good.
We get it.
No, but... I love the fact that J-Lo brought up, if the worst critique is his style, they're looking for things. It means everything else is fantastic.
Exactly. And then it's difficult because it's a white, good-looking male, something that's typical. So sometimes people feel like they don't want to make that be the favorite. But I'll tell you what, if you guys were watching the mentoring, if you guys were watching his practice, the look on Jason Derulo's face the second that Clark opened his mouth, What did he do? What we do when we're in church. He threw that face back. And right now, for everyone who's listening and not watching, I close my eyes and I put my head back, because that's what happens when someone sings to you and you feel it. And that's why I appreciated Jason, because he said, why don't you preach what you're trying to sing? Because Clark has that type of a tone. When it comes down to it, he was singing, and I was like, damn, he's probably going to win American Idol. That's kind of what I thought. Because, like you said, at the end of the day, it's vocals for you, and this damn, that boy, I mean, damn, when he sings. And he sings to my heart. So
Right.
it's crazy because I thought it was perfect. One, he sang Ed Sheeran's song, and it blows my mind, the music that man writes. But it was perfect for him. I mean, his connection wins every single time.
Yes, and you see it more each week. And to me, it reminded me slightly, I know people are going to yell at me for this one, Phillip Phillips' Volcano.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
It was that brooding, that
okay,
deed,
yes.
that
Yes,
just
I know
that
what you're talking
grit. You know, I absolutely loved it, and that was a moment for me. But it just seems like every week we hear this.
But
are we going to get bored with it? Are we going to get bored with that?
What's happening to him is like with Candice Glover. Remember when she was performing and we're like, I mean, damn, she just has a good performance every single week. And then everyone was looking for critiques for her. Same thing with him. I get that it was a good performance every week, but that's good. So then I guess we don't have to be disappointed. I mean, what does he have to do to show us something different? Do like a very soft ballad? Maybe something where he's not straining his voice? Those are the only things that I can think of is for you to try to sing. I mean, no, but he gave that to us when he sang Police.
Okay.
You know, so...
Here's the thing, and a fan brought this up, and it's from actually a former American Idol contestant, Melinda Doolittle, I believe season 6. She has said multiple times, and it's Parksy 6919. I totally agree. I like Clark's performances to reach his eyes. Mm-hmm. And he's got these mesmerizing eyes. Reminds me of he almost looks like Chris Pine. Mm-hmm. He's a great looking guy, and maybe that little fire, maybe that's the last thing. But I mean, we're nitpicking because he just blows everyone out of the water.
And I think we're nitpicking because what week are we on?
I'm sorry?
What week are we on in American Idol?
Week
24?
Episode 24.
24. Okay, we're on week 24, and we've heard the same thing. But guess what? I think the reason why I'm getting emotional, the reason why that these contestants are getting emotional, is because it's crunch time. We're so close to the finish line that you can't help but feel every emotion, every exhaustion, everything that you've been through during these last 24 effing weeks. That's why when he's singing and he's preaching, we're seeing in his eyes. That's why I finally felt Joey Cook, because it hurt her, I think, to do something different, and maybe it didn't hurt her, but it was something very beautiful. And at the end of the day, I'm such a cornball. I do love to feel connected. I love to cry when I hear music, and if you can make me cry, like Rayvon said that he wants to do, that's what his gravy is, then more power to you, because that's what makes us, get on the chat roll, makes us say what we want to say, makes us get on the show and be. I'm going way too deep right now.
That's what's it about. You're a passionate fan. That's what we all are.
I'm a passionate fan, and I'm a passionate person. And I love. That's why people always tell me, "What do you like better, American Idol or The Voice?" I might favor a little bit more with American Idol because I think I can connect with these people who just came from around the corner, singing from a coffee shop, and then they're fighting for their one shot.
Yeah.
And it's honestly it's beautiful and it's inspiring.
So you have this true
and look,
connection.
Clark just made me say all of that, mind you. So it's one of those things, like what can a person bring out in you, or what can a voice bring out in you?
Sure. And you talk about connection, and I've like I said, I've always been a big Clark fan throughout the whole season. And tonight, everyone's, oh yeah, it's your favorite was Clark. It wasn't. It was the next person.
For tonight?
Tyanna Jones.
Oh my God. This is what I mean by emotional, because she was my extrovert. Everyone, okay, I love to be proven, prove me wrong. I think that's what describes confidence. Confidence is never afraid to be wrong, and I love it when someone can just kind of slap me in the face and be like, no, this is me. So every week I kept saying that Tyanna was a little bit of an introvert, and I felt like she wasn't coming out and wasn't doing, and you were, I know you disagree with me, but that's not what I got from her.
Sure.
And so Tyanna, that first note, and I wrote that in my notes, that first note, damn, I felt it right away, and she kept it so wonderfully consistent through that entire song. And it's so funny because I forget that it was Stay, that it was just Rihanna's song, exactly what Keith said. So I'm so happy that I was able to connect with her and not the way that she was singing a song that I'm familiar with. All I could think about was what she said, the fact that she was 16, the fact that Jason said that she was mature, and that she was connecting with somebody who was no longer here anymore.
Right.
And you know how you want the voice to reach your eyes. Guess what? Her voice reached past the heavens. They reached to the heavens because she was trying to sing to somebody, and she made sure that person heard.
I wrote down when she was pleading for her grandmother to stay. I felt it. I felt it.
Please stay. And she didn't ad-lib.
That's why I have to give it to her tonight. and I was waiting for her to come back. And it's actually, I think it might be this is a great scenario for her, because in the beginning I thought she was I'm going to say the bee's knees. I thought she was fantastic. Sounded like a grandma. No, but I loved her. I just loved her energy, and she's 16, old soul. In these last few weeks, frankly, I felt she was forgettable. And now she's with that one song, I think she's back. And if she can build on that, you never know. I mean, I've already called my winner, but I mean, you never know.
Likewise. I mean, if she's able to deliver another performance that way, and I mean, I'm not. Like Harry said, what's more impressive sometimes is you holding back the tears, because we all know that sometimes when you get into a song you can be so emotional. And like the person that I thought of when she was singing is Lauryn Hill, because when Lauryn Hill sometimes will give, specifically her live performances, is when she gets very emotional because she wants to connect to her audience. She wants to, not her audience, she wants to connect to people, because that's how her mind was, right? And with Tyanna, I think I really appreciated that, because she's saying right through the screen and right to me.
Yes, that is the best thing. When you can break through that glass, you can break through that screen and connect. That is, you have the audience. You have them. She'll have fans tonight. She made new fans tonight that'll be her fans that will follow her forever. And that was special.
That was special.
Big up.
And hello, nice to meet you, right? Because I finally saw her tonight, so that's what's up.
Wow. Okay. So now we've come to what I'm going to call, performer versus the voice. That's what is the quintessential battle between performer and voice. And they both, and it's funny, I wrote this on I don't know why it stuck out to me. When we opened Idol tonight, Rayvon said, it was really telling. He did not want to go through what he went through last week.
Right.
And bam, he had to go through it again.
Of course.
The Twitter save.
Of course.
Oh. But, okay, I got flagged. I was not a huge fan. I liked his song last week, and you all loved it. His save song. Tonight, Set Fire to Rain by Adele. I have a saying. I've always said, you are never going to win doing Adele when you're not Adele.
Yes, I know.
I thought he won.
Oh.
I loved it. I loved it tonight. I don't know. I felt his fire. Maybe I think even Harry talked about it. You felt finally something like, I really want this. And I had not felt that from him yet. He's great. He's vocals to die for, but just that fire. And he showed it to me tonight.
Okay, the way that you're describing it, I think, is how I saw Joey, and I'm going to probably see Rayvon the way you saw her. Okay. Where I'm happy to have seen some of his risks, some of his edge tonight with that performance. However, I think that there was definitely some parts that the vocals maybe were a little bit off. It is Adele. But at the end of that performance, like what they said, damn, you wanted it. Like you told, like as if he heard what I was thinking in my head, and he was like, "Oh, word. Well, let me show you what I got, because I'll bring it to you right now. Right? Like, just give me a second." And so I appreciated that, because we did need to see that. And it was 1 week. It was Adele, and Rayvon is such a happy-go-lucky person that I felt like maybe he did not connect at the very most in the beginning of that performance, but at the end then it switched it all up. So it was one of those things where it's not over till the fat lady sings or whatever it is. Like you have to go till the very end, because there's a good chance that in those last 30 seconds you can change somebody's mind. You can change the entire performance, because what's the lasting impression that you give us? The
hero note is that last big note.
I mean, that was dope. That was really good. That was I was to see him actually like try to give it rather than it come out so gracefully. I think that's what was so nice, and I loved that, and I was like, I applauded him for that moment.
I think it's something that he's going to work with, because even Harry asked him, what makes you tick? And when he started speaking, Rayvon, I still don't think he truly knew what made him tick until he was starting to give it like kind of like to me, forgive me, Rayvon, if this is an assumption, that it was like kind of the stock answer, but then it just, I don't know, the heat of the moment, and then you saw him get fired up, and he's spiritual. He wants to inspire.
Exactly, absolutely.
And when he got that fire, and he had it in the song, and he had it when he said it there. And hopefully this is a good turn for him, and he starts channeling that now, because as a super fan said, boy's got 9 lives. He survives again.
Hey, you ain't lying about that, though, because, no, I think it's true. And I think what's good about, I think with Rayvon, what might be difficult for him, he seems like he's 23, but he still seems very like a grown-ass man, you know? I feel like he's very comfortable, and he might be very sure of who he is. So to come on a show and to sing the way that he wants to sing and be who he wants to be, and then have people tell you, show us more, or we don't think this is really you, it might get a little bit frustrating. So I think that's what it was. Like, you're right, even in his like describing when he's like, what is your gravy? I mean, I don't even think J-Lo understood what the gravy is. The Jenny from the block isn't her gravy. Her dancing is her gravy. Her style and how she presents herself, that's your gravy, girl. That's what, like with Harry, when he says New Orleans and everything else, because New Orleans in the food, that's what gets him when he plays his piano. So I think that with Rayvon, his gravy was what he said, he didn't get it until the end. If I can make you cry, laugh, or something, boom, he said it towards the end. It took him a second. And I think that's what was good about this performance, is that he gave it to us at the end. Okay,
so you got to know yourself. Like, here's the thing, Steph, who are you? And I know what you're going to say.
What? Soy colombiana, obvio.
No, see. So you don't even know your gravy.
I'm kidding. I thought that's because you said I know what you're gonna say. No, my gravy is people are my hobby.
Bam, you know it.
Yeah, my gravy is people. All of you. I do this show and I love to talk because I love people, and everyone inspires me. Me as a person is a little bit of every single person I've ever met.
All right. And the reason I'm saying that is just, you know yourself, so it helps you in anything you want to do, in any of your creative pursuits. And I think Rayvon, I think he does. Maybe he just needs to shout it out a little more, who he is.
Right, because we heard you, baby, but we heard you at the end.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, well, JC heard you from the beginning, but I got you towards the end.
All right. And here's someone who, he's confident as all hell. I love the guy.
You know what? Yeah.
But I was heartbroken with you. I can already tell we're both going to be heartbroken about this, and people are going to yell at us. What?
And I didn't expect it. I know Violet disagrees a little bit, but I think what made me upset was the beginning of that performance. He had the most beautiful smile and look on his face when he started, because you can tell, like what what Jennifer Lopez said, that sometimes it's unfortunate that maybe your performances may overcome your vocals, but that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that you're a bad singer, right? And he thanked her for it. He had to get down on his knee to be like, thank you, because I was about to lose it after every single critique that I've gotten this week. And you know what? I think it's right. And I don't think that he has to worry or feel bad about the fact that his performance abilities takes over his voice, because he looks so damn good on stage. There was one part when he said, hey, yeah, and the singer's right here, and he took like a lean back. Like, I don't know. It fits so well. He belongs on stage more than the rest of them. I bet you he could choreograph and block things the way that no other contestant could. And I think that's what I appreciate about him. I think it was a great way to say goodbye, his performance. Hey, I shake it, like, do what you do. But it is unfortunate, because I don't with a person who has so much passion like him, I would never ever want to discourage them. And I think that's what gets difficult for some of these judges sometimes, or for anybody to try to say goodbye to somebody, because it's one of those things, like, we don't want you to give up on your dream just in this specific competition. And because America is voting, just things switched up a little bit.
I'm going to keep it short with him, and this is why it was heartbreaking. He knew.
Yeah.
He knew he was going home. To me, let me know if I'm wrong, but
I mean, he said Rayvon's name before.
Yeah,
he said Rayvon's name.
Yeah, he whispered it.
We saw that.
Yeah, and I saw even like his eyes were like getting glassed over, and I was like, that's what was heartbreaking. But kudos to him, because the show must go on.
Absolutely.
And he gave it, and if this is his last song, so let it be. Live it like it's your last moment, and he went out with style, and he did, and his energy is like that. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I don't know why that really makes me sad a little bit.
I can see it right now.
I know.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's just because that, like, his realness, and it made me laugh. Like, even in that little Sorry. Even in the little preview, he said, because last week I did a bad performance like, oh, D. He said, like, that's something that I say. So it's, again, I pay attention. People are my hobby. I pay attention to little things that I may have in common with a certain person. But maybe his heart was just really on the stage tonight, and maybe that's why I feel for it. But I don't know. I got mad love for him, so
yeah,
I just want him to do well.
Definitely
and
have
God bless
mad
him,
love
because
for him.
he said that's what hurt him. It's just like above all glory, and so I feel you on that one.
All right. So the fans are even saying this right now. I believe it was, where is she at? It's Parksy6919 said he would be great on X Factor.
Right.
We've been saying that because he's just a showstopper. So the show may come back. So I've been hearing there's a possibility he may come back. Love to see him on there. You never know. So overall, an emotional. I mean, we're kind of teary-eyed.
I mean, maybe we're tired. Who knows? JC's sick. I'm over here like tearing up about Kasim. Like, Violet's at like somewhere watching, like me, like screaming at me, like I can't believe Stephanie's saying what she's saying. Jason's yelling, "Preach, girl, preach."
So let's move on. But now, before I don't know if we necessarily. I guess we could hit up a little newsy, gossipy stuff. I may have a little tidbit.
Okay. I might be able to add to it. Let's go.
Really? As we all heard, that now it's going to be instead of a top 10 for the Idol, the Idol show, it's now going to be a top 5. So there's only going to be 5. So this is what I'm worried about this, because Kasim left tonight, so he's not going to be able to go on the show, the post show. When Idol goes on, I can't even talk today.
When Idol goes on their tour.
When they go on the road.
I mean, he might be the exception if they want a boom, like a big boom, boom, bow.
No.
No? Okay.
No. Well, there is a slight chance. This season, they're going to be using the top 5 to go on the road. And however, there's a slight possibility, I read this right before I came in, that contestants 6 through 10 may join at their own hometowns.
Oh, okay.
For a performance. So
and that's kind of like a good look, because they would definitely bring that specific audience.
Yeah, so it would help.
Everybody wants to see somebody from their place, from their hometown.
And it makes sense, because they've had sluggish sales, and it started in giant arenas and ended up in now theaters. So I just signed to the times, and they're stripping it down a little more, so it's only the top 5. And other than that, I think that's it for news. It was really quick. We got no Jason.
Right, but Jason did he did say that he got most of the contestants tonight as far as the red carpet goes, so definitely stay tuned to see what interviews he has for tomorrow, because I feel like they're all gonna have a lot to say, because we're definitely we're going down to like the nits and grits, and just these are, I don't know, is that the word? My colloquialisms are really bad.
Nits
sorry
and
guys.
Grits. Okay, I'll go with that.
What is it?
I'm on cold
It's nitty gritty. It's nitty gritty.
There you go. Thank you, Mark. All right, so let's move on. No. Predictions,
okay.
But before we give the axe to one,
Your AFTERBUZZ.
who is your favorite tonight? You know what? Give me. I usually ask for 2. We'll go just 1 tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna make you pick.
Damn, my favorite tonight.
Let's see, fans. Who is your favorite tonight? Let me know while Steph stews. I'll let you know mine.
Go.
Because it's
Tyanna.
not Clark. Yes.
I know. I for me, it was between Tyanna and Joey.
Tyanna and Joey?
Yes,
you can
Joey,
only pick
because
one.
I know.
You can only take one to the island. 3, 2, 1. There's the golden rule. No dead air.
I know,
You gotta Joey it is. There you go. You made a decision. I like that. All right, but now comes the toughest cut of all. Who's in your bottom 2? Who will get the Twitter save? Ooh, I'm adding it. I'm making it. Okay. Fans are saying Clark and Tyanna, especially Clark. Let's see. Rowan Kyle Brody says Rayvon will go home.
Rayvon and Nick are on my bottom.
On your bottom, really?
Yeah, because I think that people are still connecting with Jax. They like her, and I think they want to see more of her. So I don't think that everyone's ready to let her go yet.
Okay.
And Rayvon, unfortunately, Bobby, he's he's been in the bottom unless he had that comeback, because those last notes were killer. So maybe Jax and Nick could be at the bottom too. So I think it's between the 3 of them. But as far as who might win, I really think that it could be between Joey, Clark, and Tyanna.
Okay.
I just went everywhere on that.
Yeah, and that's why we love it. No, I am going to go with, on the chopping block, Nick will be safe. Just because everyone says you pick him every week, so I'm going to say he'll be safe. And on the bottom two, a bit of a shocker. Two of my faves. Oh my gosh.
Quentin.
Yes, I've loved Quentin.
I think it's a possibility.
So Quentin and carry the one dot the lowercase j. My second 1-2 Lee Rayvon. And between the two, Rayvon and Quentin.
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Who knows? It's up to America.
Someone tell me, who should I pick? I can't. Whoever. That's such a cop out. I don't say whatever the fan says next. That's who I'm picking. Either between Rayvon and Quentin to leave.
First one, nobody.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go.
Dead air.
The road ends for Rayvon.
Okay.
You can't dodge it 3 times. That's it.
I know.
What do you guys think? Let us know. Once again, if you haven't done it yet, please go to iTunes, go to SoundCloud, go to YouTube /AfterBuzz TV. Subscribe. Let us know what you think. Please rate us 5 stars. We can use the help because maybe it'll bring back our other hosts. All right, that's enough from me. Steffi, where can they find you today?
Hey, y'all. So I had a lot to say today. If you want to discuss that with me, please follow me on Twitter @Stephanie Giorgi, on Instagram @TheStephanieGiorgi, and on Snapchat @StephanieGiorgi.
You got any other shows you're doing right now?
I am doing The Voice, Jane the Virgin, and that's it for right now.
Nice. And Epic Mark Time, the man who puts up with the madness. Where can they find you, buddy?
You can find me on Twitter @SoapboxMark. Nice and simple.
It's as simple as can be. And if you're a big Dancing with the Stars fan, send me your questions. I will ask them for you at JCRubioTV on Instagram and Twitter. So for the lovely Mark and the double lovely Stephanie and Jason and Violet, our dreamboats, come back next week. I'm JC. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Chat roll rules.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.